Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. This is actually my first time talking on here, so I just wanted to say thanks for being here. With Battlefield 6 dropping today, I wanted to take a look at what it's really going to take for this game to go down as one of the greats of the franchise. I'm talking Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 level. Then at the end, I'm going to talk about what could possibly ruin it. But before we jump in, with my channel being new and all, you should know that I'm a decently long-time veteran of the Battlefield series. The first one I ever played was Battlefield 3, but I really only played the campaign of that game before Battlefield 4 released, and I fell in love with the franchise. Since then, I've played Hardline, for those of you that remember that game, the series' favorite Battlefield 1, of course, then Battlefield 5, and a little bit of Battlefield 2042. But at that time I was still in school and really into Rainbow Six Siege. I didn't really play that one too much. Anyways, with that one out of the way, let's get into it. So for Battlefield 6 to stand among the greats, I think it's gotta nail what made Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 so special. The things that made players keep coming back even years later. The first thing on my list that I think any good FPS shooter needs is good gunplay. The recoil of Battlefield 4 felt realistically bouncy. Not laser accurate, but not frustrating either. You had to actually control your shots, and when you did, it felt earned. It rewarded skill without pushing casual players too hard, and every gun had its own rhythm, and once you mastered it, landing kills was seriously satisfying. Then there are the iconic Battlefield maps. Smartly designed, packed with destructible elements, and most importantly, alive. Battlefield 4 was the first in the series to introduce Levolution. Back then it was mind-blowing. Sure, some of the moments feel a little dated now, but the idea behind them, making the map itself part of the fight, was genius. If Battlefield 6 takes that same concept and builds on it with the modern tech, it could be incredible. Another thing that people don't talk about enough, the uniforms and player models. You could instantly tell which army you were up against. No confusion, no random mishmash of characters. It felt like two organized forces going head to head, which made every battle feel like an actual war rather than just chaos with guns. Battlefield 4 also had a good amount of customization. The game had an insane number of weapons and attachments. You could tweak your gun to fit your exact playstyle, whether you wanted something steady and controlled, or something fast and risky. It gave players a sense of ownership over their loadouts. A true staple of the Battlefield franchise has always been its use of vehicles. Tanks, jets, helicopters, boats. All of them felt powerful, but never unstoppable. Some non-Battlefield players may disagree, but as long as you worked with your squad, you could take out anything. That was emphasized even more in Battlefield 1 when they introduced behemoths into the game. You could also do the reverse, like getting 3 other squad mates with repair tools to keep a tank alive forever, it seemed. Speaking of that, the class system itself is what tied everything together. Assault, Engineer, Support, Recon, 4 clear roles, each with distinct gadgets and strengths. There was some overlap in Battlefield 4 with the guns, sure, but it made sense. You weren't seeing assaults running around with sniper rifles or recons tossing medkits. It kept the gameplay focused and balanced, and honestly, I think it's something that Battlefield should never move away from. And finally, the details. I've always felt like DICE put real care into the small stuff. The destruction physics, soldier voice lines, the way environments reacted to the chaos. Those subtle touches made the world feel real, like you were actually in a chaotic, dynamic war zone. All of these things, the gunplay, the destruction, the teamwork, the attention to detail, came together to make Battlefield 4 a really special game, and is pretty much my baseline expectation for Battlefield 6. Now, Battlefield 1 was a completely different setting, but stepped the franchise up not by just a notch, but by levels. Battlefield 1 nailed the atmosphere, the visuals, the sound, the music. Everything pulled you into the World War I chaos. Even though the weapons were older, they felt heavy and satisfying, and the combat was slower in a way that fit the era. The operations mode was genius too. It gave a sense of long-term push between two armies instead of a quick match that ends in 10 minutes. And after the first round, the losing side would acquire a behemoth vehicle, which would actually further force both sides to work as a team to either capture objectives using the vehicle or focus fire to take it down early. It also had insane map variety. Deserts, forests, snow, that era's versions of cities, and every map had destructibility that could completely change how a fight played out. And even more than Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1's classes felt distinct. The gadgets, the vehicles, even the uniforms helped make every role feel necessary. So if Battlefield 6 can take that blend of gunplay, teamwork, immersion, and detail that Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 both exemplified in the franchise, I think it'll have a good shot at being remembered as one of the best Battlefields ever. But now I want to talk about the things that could completely tank it. I think there are a few big mistakes that could kill Battlefield before it even gets going. The first being cartoony or unrealistic character skins. Please, DICE, EA, don't do it. I know cool skins would probably bait kids into using their mom's credit card and make you a ton of money, but please take notes from COD and study how it destroyed their game. Battlefield's magic comes from the immersion. When I see someone running around dressed like a neon samurai, or just not in a matching uniform for that matter, it just breaks the entire vibe. Second would be no server browser. That's non-negotiable for Battlefield 6's longevity. Battlefield has always thrived on community servers. Finding your favorite map rotation, your clan's server, your own playstyle. I know it's going to be launching with a server browser for their proto mode, but if one isn't added for their normal matchmaking later down the road, I think it'll keep a lot of players from coming back to play it in the future. Third on the list, and this honestly goes for any gaming franchise, is not listening to the community. This series has some of the most loyal fans out there. We give feedback because we care. If EA or DICE ignore that again, like with some past titles, people won't stick around. My second to last point on the list is for Battlefield to try to be something that it's not. Battlefield is not Call of Duty, it is not Siege, it is not any of those other AAA games. Though it is a AAA game, it doesn't need a sweaty ranked mode or a half-baked battle royale like what some streamers are saying. It just needs to double down on what makes Battlefield Battlefield. Large-scale warfare, teamwork, chaos, and cinematic moments you can't get anywhere else. Now that doesn't mean I don't like them experimenting with new things. What I mean is dedicating too much time to something new and detracting from the core experience. Now the last point on my list that could be a Battlefield killer is slow post-launch support. If updates and balance fixes take forever, the community dies fast. Keep the game alive, communicate, and deliver meaningful content, not fluff. I don't think this will be a problem given that DICE has already shown off Season 1 content that looks really promising, and is coming out only a few weeks after launch. Just please don't make me eat my words, DICE. So that's my take on what I think could make Battlefield 6 one of the best of this franchise, and also what I think could kill the game and turn it into another what could have been. Before I wrap up, like I said, this is my first time actually speaking on the channel, and I'm planning to turn this into a place where we talk honestly about the games we love, without the fake hype. If you enjoyed the video or found it interesting, I'd really appreciate you leaving a like, subscribing, and checking out some of my other socials, especially my Twitch, where I'll be streaming Battlefield 6 the moment it launches tomorrow, or I guess today. All the links are down in the description. Your support means a lot, especially when I'm trying to get this channel off the ground. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you later on Battlefield 6.